got you on that ice. Y'all know that. All right. People come in here late anyway, so we might as well just get it going. All right, so boom. For those of y'all who watched the halftime show, I was coughing and all that. Like I said, no, I don't have COVID because I saw somebody say that. I am sick. I caught my son's cold. I'm taking care of him. He is currently upstairs. I've been fully vaccinated for like 2 weeks now. All right, it ain't no COVID. It ain't no COVID. Let's. It ain't that. All right, but yeah, taking care of my son. He got a cold. I don't. It's probably warm where y'all at, but down here it is raining. Okay, and it's cold outside. So when a kid get that, you catch the cold. That's just how it goes down here. All right, so that's what that is. Don't nobody got no COVID. All right, now. First, I like to give the opposing team credit for the game and everything like that because you don't want to be biased. And Texas Southern did a lot of good things, right? So Texas Southern, first of all, man, nice open field tackling. I'm gonna start with them first. They had very good open field tackling. Every time a completion was made, they was right there. Right, like leave me alone, bro. I don't got nothing, right? But yeah, every time a reception was made by JSU, the TSU defenders were right there to put an end to it before they can get any yak yardage. They had really good open field tackling, and I will give them credit for that. Also, their DBs did not back down at no point during the game. They were the cause of a lot of drops. Or contested passes for JSU. I was really impressed by them, right? Like dude who was on Malachi Wideman, he held his own. He lost the battle, but he held his own. Keith Corbin, Joshua Lanier, it didn't matter. They really held their own versus the JSU receivers, and I could really appreciate that. Let me say this: Andrew Body. My thoughts on him. Been a big fan of him. He has to progress as a passer. I mean, he was 10 for 26, 69 yards. This is a very good JSU defense that you're going up against. You're a very exceptional runner. You just have to get better as a passer. Because once JSU started bringing that pressure to him and getting them hits on Andrew wanted no parts of it. And he started throwing the ball away. He was overthrowing everybody. It was looking pitiful for him passing wise, but he is an exceptional runner. As for Texas Southern as a whole, that triple option offense really gave Jackson State fits for at the very least half of the game. It gave them fits because Jackson State is such a free roaming defense. They just let the dogs loose and let them do whatever. That they had to play assignment football when it came to that option, and they didn't know. Nobody knew somebody got to get the dive. Somebody got to get Andrew Body. Somebody got to get the pitch man. So instead, all you saw was one linebacker trying to decide, oh, who am I going to get on this play? And you just go towards the quarterback, and he just pitches the game. He just pitches the ball over, and they get a big game. Where can we see the game now that it's over? So the only place that I knew that the game was available was the Jackson State Sports Network, which I had to pay the $26 for and everything like that. I don't know who else was streaming it. I think Offscript was screening it, but he made his live private for what reason? I don't know. Y'all probably was saying some crazy stuff in there for him to make it live. I mean, make it private, but that's the only place that I saw it available at. And last thing for Texas Southern, Ladarius Owens, big fan now. He opened my eyes up to him now. Going into this game, Andrew Body was Texas Southern's leading rusher. And then Ladarius just comes out of nowhere and eats. Like, he feasts this game. 20 carries, 169 yards. He did a really good job. A lot of that was because of the option. But Ladarius Owens, man, he did a really good job, bro. He made a lot of good plays. He's a very talented back. What's up, bro? Finally caught alive. What's good, man? What's good with you? Members only, so if you want a member, you had to pay to watch. Yep. There you go. You had to pay to watch it. Now let's get to Jackson State, because that's all I had to say about Texas Southern. My thoughts on Shedeur, because I really just want to get to him first, right? Shedeur made great plays, and he also was the reason why they left points on the field early on in the game. So if this is Shedeur's worst game, the way he bounced back, if this is Shedeur's worst game, y'all should be scared of his best game. Y'all really should. But, you got to hold him accountable because second time in the red zone, right? Great play call by TC, right? Play action pass. Colin Ritchie is wide open. All you got to do is just dump it up to him. He walks in for the touchdown. Nobody's around him, and you overthrow the pass. And I sat there and I looked at Shedeur like, okay, this ain't normal for you, but you probably was way too excited. It happens. We're so used to him playing so well as a freshman that we forget he can make mistakes. He's human. He's human, and everything like that. So I excused that. I was like, all right, whatever. Then he threw up a pass to was it Malachi? I want to say it was Malachi or Keith Corbin, one of them. He threw up a pass to him. No, it was Shane. He threw up a touchdown to Shane. Shane drops it. It was contested. He drops it. I'm like, okay, we don't get a score off of that. Now, going the other way, towards the other end zone, right? Back in the red zone again. I see somebody come across the screen. Again, I'm not sure if that was Malachi or whoever, but somebody comes across the screen. I'm like, Shedeur, he's right there. Hit him. He throws the ball, and he overthrows it. And I'm just like, what is going on with Shedeur? Shedeur, like, I don't see this from you. Like, what is going on in your head right now? And, it wasn't just Shedeur. I think a lot of those guys just, their minds for some reason was just elsewhere. Like, no, they weren't on the same page in the first half. They weren't. Shedeur was excited, but they just weren't on the same page in the first half, and that caused a lot of mistakes. But credit to Shedeur, right? Because after making those mistakes, he did settle down, and when those two touchdown passes that he threw, uh, let me see, he escaped the pocket twice on one drive and delivered like just great throws on the run, off balance, like his feet wasn't set or anything. He just delivered great throws to have a big play. So I said, okay, Jacoby Luckett, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. JSU defense is gonna have to figure out how to defend the RPO. They are. They are. And, it's honestly a good thing that they were able to experience this now. I'm actually happy that they were able to be in a dogfight again. I think this is needed for them, especially going into these games that you're going into now, next week versus Southern. It's very hard to win down there in Baton Rouge. I think they needed this game, and I'm glad that they were able to pull it out the way that they did. But yeah, Shedeur was still able to correct his mistakes, make the passes he was supposed to make, ended up with 3 touchdowns. And also, let me say this about his leadership, right? There was a play, well, a pre-play. Two linemen were arguing with each other because somebody had missed a block, somebody got hit in the backfield, and they were arguing with each other. And I see Shedeur just come over and say, "Hey, stop that, line up." And they did just that. It's little things like that I'd be impressed with Shedeur Sanders. For a freshman quarterback to have that much pull, for him to have that much say-so and respect, right? Just speaks to his leadership and how well Coach Prime has really raised him to be the kid that he is. I'm just very impressed that he's able to fix his own mistakes and that he's able to lead this offense the way that he does. And let me say this, last thing about Shedeur. That boy's presence, his pocket presence, unmatched. I don't care what other quarterback you talk about in the SWAC, it's unmatched. I watched Shedeur take the biggest hit, the biggest shot just to get that ball off, and it resulted in a completion. But I just looked at him and I said to myself, Shedeur does not care who has a free shot on him as long as he has an opportunity to make that throw. He does not care. It is not enough to get in his face. He will take punishment to deliver a throw. That is something that you can't teach in a quarterback. That's something that you can't buy. That's something that you got to be born with. And Shedeur is born with it. Man, just such a great job by Shedeur, bro. But yeah, he did leave plays on the field. We can't forget about that. But he corrected his mistakes, and that's all we could ask for him. He's playing like the best quarterback in the SWAC right now. You can definitely say he is the best quarterback in the SWAC. Peyton Pickett. About time. I was starting to give up on Peyton. I really was. But man, did he show us something, especially on the opening drive. All season, I have not seen one time where Peyton Pickett would bounce the ball on the outside and just continue to run upfield. He would usually just run up on the inside, get what he can get, whether it was 3 or 4 yards, he was going to take it and move on to the next play. I loved it. I love the fact that he was bouncing the ball outside, that he was lowering his shoulder, using that big frame that he has, picking up tough yardage, and breaking off for these big runs. This is what we wanted to see when you first came from Liberty. So Great job to him. Let me say this: JD Martin. Y'all are seeing how special JD Martin is. JD runs fluid. He's a fluid runner. That's why I'm such a big fan of him. JD is a fluid runner, and I think he's going to be great when he becomes the focal point of the run game. If not next year, then maybe the year after that. But I'm a big fan of JD and Pickett. They both perform well. I don't know why Santi didn't get much carries this game. Maybe they just wanted to try something new, but it worked. And so those two, great job. Keith Corbin, 9 receptions for 111 yards. We didn't even talk about Keith Corbin at all this game. He was just kind of quiet. He just had a quiet, really good performance. Keith Corbin performed well. Malachi Wideman, a lot of drops, very uncharacteristic of Malachi Wideman, but he was still able to have 2 touchdowns as well. DJ, hey, thank you so much for the $10, bro. Thank you so much. Malachi Wideman, a lot of drops, 2 touchdowns. He was progressing week after week, and he was getting so good. I don't know what happened this game. I don't know what happened with the drops this game. But he was still able to come down with some. I just think he needs to be more consistent going into next week because he dropped some, and then he didn't. So we just want to see more catches from Wideman. He's getting targeted a lot, so he needs to make a lot more catches than what he's doing. Who's next? Who's next? Shane Hooks. We finally got Shane Hooks back in the game, back playing from whatever injury he had. And let me say this. He looked like he didn't miss a beat. Yes, he had a couple drops, right? But I would put that as to him just getting acclimated back into playing football because he's been out for so long. But he looked like he didn't miss a beat. He still looked comfortable. Okay, he's only going to get healthier, and overall, very impressed with Shane Hooks. Glad to have him back with 1 week under his belt. Now you going into the big games. Now this is the perfect time to get him back. The O-line. No complaints from the O-line. I have none. Tim, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 5, Tim. I really do appreciate you. You already know that. We talk on Instagram all the time. So I really do appreciate the information you give me and you for supporting my channel a lot. Thank you so much. No complaints from the O-line. None. And this is the first time all season I've said that. They gave Shedeur the time he needed to throw for the most part. The run game was fine. No complaints from them. None. Good job. No complaints from the O-line. Warren Newman will be back next week. About time. Like, this is perfect timing because Jackson State's offense does not work the middle because they have no Warren Newman. Now we see how important he is when moving the chains in between the tackles, in between the seams. We see that now. Dion coming back next week. Yep, he sure is. Dion, Warren, everybody's coming back when we need him the most. So I'm very excited. I saw a couple of videos of Warren running and training as well. So he looking pretty good. Let me say that. He's looking pretty good. I don't think when he comes back he's going to be slow at all. He gonna be good. All right. Let's stop with the hitch routes. I mean, I get it. We use it in the opening drives just to get going, get the flow going and everything like that. But what I saw from Texas Southern, the way they trust Andrew Body, they will live and die by Andrew Body's play because they trust him that much. They will give him a 5 wide out set. They will let him throw them to victory or throw them to an L. And I really like that about Texas Southern. Do the same with Shedeur. Get him going. Opening drive, if you want to throw a couple of hitches, that's fine. But I don't want to see hitch route. Then you take a shot for like 15 plus yards. I'm tired of seeing it. I think now you can really open up the playbook a lot more now that you trust him and let him, do what he does because he's special. Field goals. Because I see a lot of y'all talking about it in the thing. Field goals. All I can say is Trey Glymph is coming next year. This is no secret that the kicking game is what it is. It's no secret. It's no secret at this point. It just is what it is. Bailey Rayborn, let me say this: he's gotten better weekly. He's gotten better, but he still just misses these opportunities, and I can't blame him for that first miss just because he made the first kick and then a penalty happened and he had to kick again. So I'm not gonna blame him for that, even though he still should make it. But Trey Glimpse is coming next year. The kicking game has been like this since the spring. This we know. This we know. So let's not even be upset about it no more. We know what to expect. We know what to expect from them. JSU defense. Tackling has become a problem again. Tackling has become a problem again. When you compare Texas Southern's open field tackling to Jackson State, it does not. It doesn't compare, right? Texas Southern was better. They were better on that front, except for James Houston. Give Houston credit because he's the only one who uses proper form when tackling. He's the only one. Yeah, so tackling has become a problem again. Great job in adapting to Texas Southern's offense in the second half. The first half, right? Nobody knew who to get. Nobody knew their assignments. Over pursuing was a problem. In the second half, the ends started to contain more. Houston Niles, they started to contain a lot better. That took away opportunities for Texas Southern's offense. And they weren't able to get the bigger runs that they were doing in the first half. So I would say that great job by reeling it in a little bit, containing their aggression and using it the right way. Look like Miller is wearing the cast. Yeah, I seen that Aubrey Miller wearing the cast. I don't know what's going on in practice. They don't really disclose injury information, but I'm happy that he's still able to play. I would say this, in situations like this, I would put Keontae in a lot more because he's more of a ball magnet. I would put him in a lot more. I got to eat on that ice with it too. You know that. All right. Now, like I said, Body wanted no parts after getting hit. He wanted no parts. Great job by the defense as well. You finally were able to get to him, lay the wood to him, and after that, he just gave up. Like, he was overthrowing receivers, and it just looked horrible. Some of his passes just looked horrible. Yeah, Malachi dropped about 6 passes, which is, uncharacteristic. It was just way too bad. He made plays, but he dropped 6 passes, and that just cannot happen next week because we rely on him in his playmaking ability. And overall, I would say the defense just doesn't quit. They don't quit. I admire that about them. You can make the big plays when you do, but they will never fold to anybody. They will if they gotta make the play at the 1 yard line after you've been dominating them all game, they'll do it. They have short-term memory, and I love that about them. They don't get caught up in mistakes. They made a mistake, they right back in it. They're going to stop your offense, and they're going to let it be just that. Love the mindset on the defense. However, establish dominance early and stop making you know what? I done said what I said about the offense and defense. One more point for the defense. They held Texas Southern to 2 for 15 on third down. That's amazing. Texas Southern was only 2 for 15 on third down. Absolutely great job by the defense. Let's give them credit for that stat. Now that I'm done talking about the team, the refs, abysmal. The refs are abysmal. I'm like, oh my, that pass interference call where Andrew threw the ball so far over the boy's head, he would have had no chance at it anyway, and they called a pass interference, and the crowd started booing the refs. I was booing too. I'm looking at my screen just booing this man. Like, what are you seeing out there, bro? Is Jackson State the home team? Is Jackson State the home team? Y'all let me let's talk to the SWAC conference. Let's talk to the commissioner, whoever's in charge of hiring these refs. Let's tell them, hey, maybe you want to look somewhere else, okay? Because I can't. These refs are really gonna cost somebody their season the way they officiate games. I don't know what's going on with it, bro. It's garbage. It's garbage. you know. And then the exact same play happens for Jackson State, and they don't call it at all. I'm like, do y'all have money on Texas Southern? What is this? What is this? Oh, that's it. That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. I want to hurry up and get to that last thought. As a matter of fact, because those refs pissed me off, bro. Like, swear to God, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about them. And you know what? They look like they're a little too old to be refereeing anyway. Like, y'all don't. I don't think y'all look like y'all up for this job no more. Get them out of here, bro. Coach Prime is back next week. I think this is going to be such an important factor for the reason that for the past 3 weeks, JSU has not looked. They have not. You must got that Sonic guys. Hey, you know that? I don't even know how you guessed that, but yeah, got to. So, Coach Prime is back. It's going to be a great job. I mean, it's going to be a great factor for JSU for the simple fact that for the past 3 weeks they've come out and they didn't have energy. They lack energy. They just looked like they didn't even want to be there last week versus Valley. I think Coach Prime comes in and he stops that. Right, Zep, great point. They don't look sharp offensively. They don't. And they're too talented of a group. They're too talented of a group to look this way. You feel me? Like, I will see them make plays, and I think, where's this team? Where has this team been the whole game? Where has this offense been the whole game? It's going to be all right. We just got a wrong point. Yeah, it's going to be all right, but at some point, we have to say to ourselves, like, all right, when are we going to get it together? Lorenzo, yeah, I was worried too, Lorenzo. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I'm sitting here like, I know they not finna get upset like Alcorn did. This can't be. This can't be. They have to, like, I realize that they're able to pull it out in the second half because they're so talented. With that being said, you are at a point in the season now where you just can't let that happen. You can't. You let these teams think they can beat you, and they will. You're going to get every team's best from this point on out. So let's show up to play from the beginning. Coach Prime is the emotional post of the team. That's right, Dwayne, he is. But y'all, I got a question. Let me say this. Jackson State's announcers, love them. They're very entertaining. I love Jackson State's announcers, not like Valley's. I love Jackson State's announcers. I don't know those guys' names, but I was thoroughly just entertained listening to them the whole game. I don't know who they are, but I like those guys. I like those two guys. But I got a question. I was listening to the announcer say that if FAMU loses tonight, then JSU gets the East. Is that true? Somebody comment that. Texas Southern, the first team to score 20 on JSU. Yes. Yeah, that's crazy. But like I said, a big part of that is body. 7 days being covered. Mr. G, good point. Good point. A couple of times those corners were beat. That front seven is really, the defense is a unit, let's say that. But that front seven is doing that work. They hiding up a lot. Rob J is the lead announcer. I absolutely love Rob J, man. I was very impressed by him in this commentating. He ain't just got on the team. He got on people in the stands. Like, I just loved it. They made adjustments. Bro, I love your channel, but the background gotta go, my boy. Hey, listen, some people got a problem with the fireplace. Other people don't. I'll leave it up till I get more comments saying stop. This is all about the offensive line and do to fix the season. The offensive line they weren't really that bad this game though. They did what they were supposed to do. Nothing special, but they did what they were supposed to do. Blow them out at the end of shows. They got the talent. They do have the talent. They have better talent, which is why they're able to always pull away late in games. But they got to do it from the beginning. It's a move set up for your girl, but okay. Antoine Lee, thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it. I'm fine with the background. But yeah, like y'all let me know. If FAMU loses tonight, does that give JSU the East? Is that like a guaranteed thing for them in the SWAC championship? Because I'm still learning how this works. I'm still learning how this works. So y'all let me know. Because I think Offscript said like it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if you win like the East or whatever. Like every SWAC game matters. So like let me know how that works. They good. Okay, so if FAMU wins tonight, then they good. We already won the East. All right, bet. Bet. Because I tell you what, Jackson State versus Prairie View, because that's looking like that's the way it's going to go. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one now. And honestly, I've been keeping a close eye on the MEAC. Because y'all know I'm from South Carolina. I'm 2 hours away from South Carolina State. I want them to make the Celebration Bowl. They're in contention for it right now. It might end up being Norfolk. They might end up playing Norfolk in that, and I'll be realistic. You got a scam in here. Yeah, I seen it. I don't even know how to do that yet. I need FAMU to lose. Oh, game. All right. Y'all got any questions before I get up out of here? Because overall, I would say about Jackson State, great team with great talent, but we could just never get out of our own way. PV is the only team that scares me, to be honest. Yeah. Brooks, that running back, I don't know if that boy runs a 4.2 or what, but that boy runs smooth. Like, I sat there and watched that PV game, and I said to myself, oh, my God. When PV's offense is clicking, oh, it's over with. It's over with. So I can't wait to see them versus that JSU defense. I can't wait to see it. Jawan Pass, by the way, he's the anomaly because any recruiting news, we won't find out anything recruiting-wise until December, DeAndre. Nothing until December. Oh, we know what Shiloh do with the hard hitting. We know what Shiloh does with the hard hitting. We shouldn't even be. It's been a minute. He ain't had a hard hit in a minute, so I was glad to see him get one this game. PV almost lost to Alabama State. Are you serious? Are you serious? Like I said, Jawan Paz, he's very up and down from a week-to-week basis. Like, 1 week he'll give you 340 with 3 touchdowns. 1 week he'll give you 140 yards with 3 interceptions. That's just who he is as a quarterback. You get the Jawan Pass, over with. Jackson State has that. 24-20 prick. 24-20. 24-20. Hey, yo. Let me say this about Niles Gaddy. Niles Gaddy doesn't show up in the stat book, so we don't really talk about him, right? But I sat there and I watched Niles Gaddy, right? Just replaying some of the game. He has great pass rushing moves. He has a great arsenal of pass rushing moves. From a technical standpoint, Niles Gaddy really is a good player. He just needs to put it all together. But he's a good player. And I just want to bring up Niles Gaddy because I know people haven't really been talking about him a lot. Niles is playing really good. Really good. Nat Gaddy gets pressures every game. Noenzo, he does. He does, right? But like I say, like his play doesn't show up in the stat book, but he's a really good player. Niles is a really good player, bro. We got to give him credit for that. He need to put on some weight. He looks big to me, but yeah, he could. You could always put on weight. You could always put on weight. Um, I think if he had the strength and the speed of James Houston, he'd be unstoppable. If James Houston had the height of Gaddy, he'd be even more unstoppable. That boy might be Jadeveon Clowney with Gaddy height. And yeah, let's talk about it. Y'all better be happy that James Houston does not have 6'5" height. 6'5", 6'6" height. If James Houston was 6'5", 6'6", oh my goodness. That boy would be Clowney reincarnated, bro. That boy will be Clowney reincarnated. I'm telling you. Ain't Gaddy a sophomore? Is Gaddy a sophomore? I'm pretty sure Gaddy is a sophomore. I'm pretty sure he is. James Houston is cold. And let me say this about James. Even if James does not produce in the Legacy Bowl, James has done enough to get drafted. James will get drafted. He's done enough. You can't convince me otherwise, bro. James has done enough to get drafted. Jackson State is going to have quite a few people in the draft. Names get called in the draft for this upcoming class. Okay, Gaddy is a freshman. That's even better for us. I'm ready for the Celebration Bowl. So am I, Kimberly Davis. I really am. I'm ready for the Celebration Bowl. But, we can't overlook Southern. We can't overlook Prairie View, who we'll potentially see. Can't overlook Alcorn either, because C.J. Bolar is a really talented receiver. Actually, his height makes him that more dangerous. He's a Von Miller. Let me say this about the Von Miller comparison. Just like Von Miller, James Houston knows how to leverage his body and work under tackles just to get to the quarterback. He's really good at that. He's really good at leveraging his body just to get pressure on the quarterback. Wait till y'all see who we got committed. Hey, don't get me excited, boy. Don't get me excited, boy. Because once I find out, it's going to be video after video after video. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. I don't care what time I find out the commitment was. I drop it. Y'all know. Yeah, JSU is going to have quite a few players in the draft. I can see James being late 3rd round to 5th round pick. Yeah. I don't think anybody's touching the 2nd round from Jackson State in this class. Not this year. Not this year, but people will get drafted. People will definitely get drafted, and James is going to be one of them. I'll be surprised if James he'll probably be the first one from JSU off the board, if I'm being honest. I want to see where Nugget is going to go. I want to see, what's up with his draft stock. Hey, people keep asking why teams don't double Houston. You can't double them. You can try. You not finna contain James with no double. I've seen him beat Tennessee State. He got doubled. You feel me? Nah, you ain't stopping him. Do you believe Newman? As much as I would love for Warren Newman to get drafted, I don't think it's gonna happen. I really, if Warren Newman can get 6th or 7th round, I would love to see it because I want it to happen. I don't know if it will. And the couple weeks that he's been out doesn't really help his case. I think because he's as short as he is, he has to stand out in a way because of his size not working for him. I think teams are going to give him a chance simply because of what he brings to the return game. So I think he'll get called in the training camp. He'll be allowed to make a team and everything like that. And that's what it is. And if it doesn't work out for him in the NFL, like Nuenzo said, the CFL is an option for him. I definitely think he can make it in the Canadian Football League. But he'll get his opportunity to make an NFL roster. He'll get an opportunity. Coach Prime will make sure of that. But I don't think he'll get drafted. But if he can show out in the return game, it's over with. EJ Love, hey, thank you so much for the $5, bro. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Our linemen are big, but they are not strong with poor lateral movement. Mr. G, great observation. Big lateral movement they could work on. And it's an easy way to fix lateral movement with offensive linemen. You put ladder drills. You just put them on ladder drills. That's it. Let them get the footwork down. And I don't think they're doing a lot of it. They need to, though. The 40 time is going to play a big factor for Warren Newman and where he ends up after he's done at Jackson State. But like I said, if the NFL isn't an option, he gonna make his money in the CFL. I would love to see him play for my Toronto. I didn't know you. I didn't know people actually watch Canadian football. Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm gonna really come to you to see how he doing when he get there. Lorenzo, right? Drills. Put him on the bag drills. Put him on the ladder drills, and let the offensive linemen get better laterally, because that's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. He opens up our offense so much. Warren Newman does contribute a lot to this offense. Like seriously, we overlooked that man, bro. We overlooked how much Warren Newman. Not all of us, but some people overlooked how much Warren Newman brought to that team. Him racking up those catches, those short catches in the seams, moving the chains. We really underestimated that because we were so caught up with the big play. Wide open Wideman is a draft pick for sure. I'd be surprised if he plays college ball for 4 years. So Wideman is a draft pick. Wideman, he can't have much more games like he did today though with those 6 drops. But Wideman is a draft pick. Wideman has every physical tool, every God-given ability to be a draft pick, to be a high draft pick, to not a late one, to be like a top 3 round draft pick, not top 3 overall. He needs to get bigger because I'm not even gonna say he needs to get bigger because we saw Devontae Smith, right? But it would help him to get bigger. It would help him to get bigger. And if he does, and he doesn't lose that speed and that jumping ability, it's over with. It's over with. Jackson State has a lot of players on this roster that when their time is done, they're going to get drafted. They are going to get drafted. And when they do, when Jackson State has more than one name called in that draft, y'all are going to see the recruits come in. Once they see the proof of Coach Brown putting people in the NFL, it's over with. It's over with. Like I need y'all to know that. Right. So I was gonna make a video, Big Mike, on Quadarius Davis. For those of you who don't know who he is, even though you should, he's a 4-star recruit. They're probably the highest rated recruit that's ever committed to Jackson State and signed with Jackson State. He's redshirted this year. But I look at him on Instagram every day. He always posts his practice footage. He's going off. He's going off. They can't stop him in practice. Like, he's posting his practice footage, and I'm telling y'all, I'm watching it. When that boy touches the field next year, when Quadarius Davis touches the field next year, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. He has the size. He has the speed. He's just a physical freak as a freshman. As a freshman, that boy's a physical freak. Like, seriously. Y'all gonna see what he do next year. He want to play now. He keeps saying, free me, free Quay. He want to play now. Do you think the front line will have the same starters next year? Mr. Robert Hall, I can't say that. Charles Armstrong was a 3-star recruit as a freshman that they brought in this year. I was very high on him as a prospect. I'm still a big fan of his. I think next year he's going to put in for that starting spot. He's going to compete for that starting spot, and maybe he gets it. It's going to look different next year for sure. Keith Corbett definitely getting drafted. Keith Corbett is getting drafted. He put in work at Houston, let alone JSU. He going to get drafted. For sure. Keith Corbin will get. That boy got some of the softest hands you ever seen. Catch radius so big, it's crazy. Keith Corbin gonna get drafted. I want to see Joshua Lanier get. He's not getting drafted at this point. He doesn't have the stats. But I think Joshua Lanier, given the opportunity, he can show a team what he has. Very skilled. Actually, Shedeur actually missed him today. He was wide open today. Shedeur missed that throw. That was another throw he missed. He was wide open in the corner of the end zone with the same play that he scored against on Alabama A&M, and Shedeur just missed him. He was open. He should have had a touchdown today. Lanier hasn't played well since his injury. I don't really know what's going on with Lanier. I don't. But I'm such like I want him to win so bad because I was such a big fan of what he's been showing since he was at Alabama. Like him just bodying those 4 and 5 star recruits at Alabama every day in practice. I was such a big fan of his. I don't know what's going on now though. I don't know what's going on with him now. I don't. If it's the injury, maybe it's that. So what's your thoughts if JSU and PV makes the championship? Mr. Robert, if they make the championship, if PV and Jackson State makes the championship, it is the determining factor is going to be Jawan Pass. I was a huge fan of Jawan Pass when he was at Louisville because a lot of people at that level had him touted as the next Lamar Jackson, which really hurt him because they're nothing alike. But he was going to be the savior after Lamar Jackson left. It didn't work out like that, as you know. One thing about Jawan, he's immensely talented. The size is there. The running ability is there. But he's inconsistent. He'll have a great game one week, and then the next week, he looks pedestrian. So, and he's still the same way at Prairie View. When he's on, they're that much harder to beat. When he's not, they really have to dig these games out. We don't know what kind of Jawan Pass we're going to get on a weekly basis. That's the problem with him. He force throws the hooks and Weidman. Yeah. Shedeur will force a couple of throws to Weidman. He will. He underthrew one of them. Like I said, like for the mistakes that Shedeur made this game, he still corrected them. He corrected them. Quarterbacks are going to have bad games. Shedeur is going to have a bad game every once in a while. When that happens, when adversity strikes, it's important to see how he responds to it. And Shedeur responded to it well today. Coach Prime is coming back next week, Bon TV. He's coming back next week. Thank God. He's coming back next week. Him and Warren Newman will be back next week. You do that, you know that cup is empty. I think you know that cup is empty. Hey, it's ice in there. It's ice, all right? That's why I'm doing that. It was somebody else as well. Tyson Alexander, it looks like he's out all season. He ain't showed up once. I think he's out all season. So if Tyson Alexander has eligibility left, him, JD Martin, and somebody said Santi. The announcer said Santi was a junior. I don't believe he is. He's a junior. He's a senior. Because if he's a junior, those three, that running game will go up next year. He showed great response to many different situations. His growth is impressive. It really is. Okay, so Santi has one more year. So Tyson Alexander, JD Martin, Santi Marshall. Oh my goodness. If we can just get that offensive line to be better, we can revamp that offensive line next year. This offense, they're going to be hard to stop. I'm really concerned next year is defense. That's what I'm concerned about. Because they have a lot of seniors who aren't going to be back next year. Who's the backup quarterback for JSU? I believe it is Corey Lyles. Corey Lyles is. Corey Lyles was a quarterback at the University of Wisconsin. He had his opportunity to play there. It didn't work out. He transferred to Southeastern Missouri or Southeastern Illinois. Had a decent season there. A decent career there. He left there as well. And I don't know why he came to Jackson State, being that Shedeur was going to start and he's a freshman and Corey is a senior, but he's here now. Yes. Aubrey Miller is a senior. Southern Illinois, yeah. But y'all, the throat's starting to get a little dry again. So I'm gonna end this because I don't want y'all to see me coughing and everything. Thank y'all so much, man, for coming to my channel and supporting my content. I really appreciate y'all. You're watching the CFL podcast. I'm out. Peace.